Happening now, a Jamestown felon sentenced to more time behind bars after he was allegedly found with a loaded shotgun. And we hear from a New York congresswoman vying for your vote as she enters the race for our redistricted seat in the House. Plus, turning the city green, we check in with Jamestown businesses ahead of St. Patrick's Day.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. A lot of local news is coming up, but first, let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that, and it seems like it's going to be a pretty nice day out there today, Dakota.
Oh, yes, it is. It is a fantastic Wednesday out there. The live look from the Olean Skycam shows you the deep blue skies that are out there right now, and this is in Cattaraugus County, but even in Chautauqua County. It's basically the same thing across the southern tier in Northwestern Pennsylvania. Not really a cloud showing up here, and it's just going to be a fantastic day. So enjoy today, because we all know the dry weather, it's not really going to last too long. 53 was the high yesterday, started the day at 32, 82, and 1 are the record highs and lows for today. So through the afternoon, it becomes mostly sunny and gorgeous. A mild day, 56 at the immediate waterfront to 64 well inland. This is above average with a south wind 5 to 15. Now, if you like this, we've got another day of it, then we get into some rain. We'll talk about it in detail in that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin.
All right, Dakota, see you back in just a bit. A convicted Jamestown felon found with a loaded shotgun during a traffic stop in 2020 will serve 57 months in prison in connection with the crime. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Buffalo announced the sentencing on Tuesday. 38-year-old Walter Dupree was previously convicted of being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition. In April 2020, the vehicle he was riding in was pulled over by JPD. After stating that he, quote, had a butt on me, Dupree was asked to step out of the car. During a search of his person, officers allegedly found his shotgun shell in his pocket. They continued to search that car and recovered a loaded shotgun in the rear. And a 73-year-old man is accused of exposing himself to children here in Jamestown. City police responded to a convenience store on the west side around 7 o'clock Tuesday to investigate the alleged incident. Since then, officers have charged Timothy Schmonitz for first-degree public lewdness and endangering the welfare of a child. To the North County now, where the city of Dunkirk's attorney will be taking over the prosecution of traffic violations. The Dunkirk Common Council voted unanimously Tuesday to approve a new 6-month pilot program. Under that initiative, City Attorney Richard Morrisroe will prosecute traffic violations and now handle plea bargaining. Morrisroe will receive 40% of fine income, with the city's paralegal getting 10% of that. This is because of New York's new discovery laws. The Chautauqua County District Attorney's Office will not be prosecuting non-criminal traffic violations in city, town, and village courts going forward. And as Tom Reed's time in office comes to an end, new and experienced candidates alike are vying to take his seat, including a candidate Reed has endorsed personally. Our Julia Grass is breaking down her interview with our team.
Currently represents New York 22, is running in the Republican primary for the 23rd district this election season due to redistricting. However, the candidate believes issues our areas face are alike and does not think it will affect how she would represent the district.
None of the Republican representatives who are currently running in upstate New York live in the districts. They were all gerrymandered out of their districts by the Democrats. It was intentional, it was calculated, and it was done to sow derision and divisiveness in the Republican Party, so that we would have tough primaries or people would question whether you really represent communities or not.
A single mother and lawyer from Shenango County, Tenny entered the political ring to help the small business and farming community. In her career, Tenny has also been a New York State Assemblywoman and a member of the 115th U.S. Congress. She hopes to reestablish the supply chain, as well as utilize her experience in foreign affairs to give the area a voice in Washington.
We're dead last in business friendliness. We're highest taxed. We have the least free state. We have people leaving in record numbers, the highest outmigration of any other state in the nation. We have a governor that's authoritarian. She doesn't respect parents. She doesn't respect our care workers and especially hospital workers.
Nevertheless, the candidate stressed the importance of bipartisan work, despite her claims that Democrats seek total government control and unfairly rigged the 2020 presidential election. Tenney also emphasized the role President Biden has played in the Ukrainian and Russian conflict.
We made ourselves energy dependent when we were energy independent. We shut down the Keystone Pipeline. We shut down the ability to make ourselves and continue our energy independence with natural gas versus coal, and natural gas is much cleaner. Under President Trump, when he unleashed the natural gas industry to provide, to fill in for a lot of the coal plants, our emissions actually went down. Our CO2 was much better under President Trump.
Though Tenney doesn't want to put American boots on the ground in Ukraine, she believes we must defend freedom. Her concern now lies in the weakness of the U.S. through Putin's eyes, and believes it could encourage other global superpowers like China to encroach on Taiwan, a major U.S. supplier.
We have to remember Ukraine is not a NATO country, but we can provide lethal aid to the Ukrainians without ourselves being on the ground. And we need to do that, forthright, or we're going to see even more slaughter every day on our TV, which is just absolutely heart-wrenching for American citizens to watch.
The fallout of the conflict in the U.S. is being seen through inflation, most critically gas prices. Though Tenney says the idea of lowering the tax collected on gas could help, it does not solve the solution long-term. Investing in gas exploration locally and opening pipelines could help relieve the strain on consumers' wallets. Ultimately, Tenney hopes voters will appreciate her transparency and reliability, as well as her willingness to point out corruption, no matter what side of the aisle it's on. Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
The Warren Vax team collected hundreds of submissions for its Grand Vax giveaway, and now they've awarded their first of 3 $1,000 prizes. Sandra Stanton was presented with her prize Tuesday. The second and third prize drawing will be on April 4th and May 2nd. Those who have received at least one dose of the vaccine can head on over to warrenvax.com and fill out an entry form. As WNY News Now continues this half hour, why wildlife experts in our region want you to take down your bird feeders. And later, heading away for Easter, we check in with a local travel agent as preparations get underway. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A group of agricultural experts in our region are asking residents to take down their bird feeders as a highly pathogenic avian influenza spreads across the nation and state. Officials with the Cornell Cooperative Extension say since the beginning of the year, the illness in birds have been identified in over 350 wild birds in 20 states, including New York. New York specifically has recorded 3 cases to date in backyard poultry flocks, which resulted in the death of 268 birds. To help stop the spread within our local population, they're asking everyone to take down their bird feeders. While this disease is mostly carried by wild waterfowl, researchers have shown that other wild bird populations can carry it too, especially if they share nesting and feeding grounds with the wild waterfowl. And leaders of New York's Democratic-controlled legislature want to boost funding for housing, child care, and home care in this year's budget. Legislative leaders are now negotiating with Governor Kathy Hochul to pass it by April 1st. The Democratic governor's $116.3 million budget includes a 3.1% spending increase and a $2 billion pool of funding for COVID relief. The Assembly now proposing nearly $8 billion, or 3.6%, more than her proposed budget. It's unlikely the final budget will include everything patched by lawmakers who released proposals this weekend. The Senate's budget would suspend the gas tax from May through December, which could save consumers $648 million. And a web-based application portal for hemp farmers seeking to obtain a conditional license to grow adult-use cannabis in 2022 is now open. The opening of the application portal for the license advances Governor Hochul's first-in-the-nation seeding opportunity initiative. It would position those with prior cannabis-related offenses to make the first adult-use sales with products grown by New York hemp farmers. It would also guarantee support for future applicants, securing an early investment into communities most impacted by the enforcement of cannabis prohibition. To access that application, check out the link at our website, posted now at WNYNewsNow.com. Well, Easter is just over a month away, and along with it comes spring break trips. And this week will certainly feel like spring. And if you plan on traveling this season, what should you know as COVID restrictions begin to loosen? WNY News Now's Elspeth Meisner with what travel agents in our area are seeing.
As Easter and warmer months approach, many people may be planning to jet off for some fun in the sun. But could the rising gas prices hold them back?
52% of respondents said that they do plan to travel this summer. And 42% of those people said they will still travel no matter how much gasoline costs.
Lambert suggests it wouldn't be a bad idea to have an expert to guide you through planning a trip.
Work with a travel advisor, again, to get all of the current information, the best deals possible. If you were to happen to have some sort of cancellation, they can help you traverse that and figure out what you need to do.
Lisa Capabianca is a travel agent who's had to deal with the constant changes that COVID-19 has brought to the travel industry. Capabianca says when it comes to Easter travel, people often decide to stay a bit closer to home, maybe choosing warmer places like Florida. But the international travel really comes in the summertime, in the May, June, and July months. Capabianca says with how much things change with the guidelines loosening up, it's wise to do your homework before you go.
It's definitely important to make sure you have all the right paperwork, your passports, what testing you may need before or after you leave, any authorization forms, because things are changing all the time.
And with more people booking trips, she says to pack your patience.
Be prepared for the unexpected and just make sure you're, again, prepared. Reconfirm your flight, make sure they have your phone number, make sure you know your backup options.
Elspeth Meisner, WNY News Now.
All right, Elspeth, certainly great tips there. Thank you. Well, former Pennsylvania Secretary of Health, Dr. Rachel Levine, has been named a national honoree for USA Today's Women of the Year. She became the highest-ranking openly transgender official when President Joe Biden nominated and the Senate confirmed her as the 17th Assistant Secretary for Health for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services back in 2021. The 64-year-old told USA Today that you have to be true to yourself and you have to be who you are, no matter who you are, no matter what your gender identity, sexual orientation, or anything else, and to be true to that. And then everything else will follow. Coming up, a look at the push to make daylight savings permanent. And later, the Ukrainian president addresses Congress today. We hear his call next. But first, when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. So stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
This winter, let New York State take your breath away. Come be a part of it. Plan your winter getaway at iloveny.com.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back, and it was a foggy morning this morning, especially if you woke up early. And, we've showed this graphic before, but it's nice to remind you kind of how graphic fog, how fog forms. And it starts with the cooler air, which settles on the highest elevations, rushes down the hills, and settles down into the valleys where the air temperature reaches the dew point, which is the condensation point, and that's when we see the fog. Now, hey, tonight we do have a shot of seeing the ISS. It's going to be a small window, 2 minutes, and it's going to be moving southwest to south-southwest, and that's tonight at 9:08. So if you are away from city lights tonight, try to see if you can spot the ISS in the sky tonight a little after 9 o'clock. The sun is shining bright downtown from the HD News Now cam, 53 degrees. Man, it is a gorgeous afternoon. A light south wind of 7. Who cares about that wind chill index of 51? It is a gorgeous day out there. And yes, it is nice. That's above average. The average high this time of the year is 44, so that is above average. And we're going to keep this this trend going here as we go into tomorrow. 66 for St. Patrick's Day. The luck of the Irish will be with us on Friday, down to 60. Now, we do start to fall back a little bit going into the weekend. The weekend, though, it's kind of a caveat. It does come with some rain showers on Sunday or on Saturday, and then going into Sunday. High pressure is set up now across the Northeast. That's keeping us dry, and that's keeping all this mess down to the south away from us. Remember, high pressure is strong, so that ultimately means not much weather going on. A boring weather day is your gain. We're bored in the weather office, but it's your gain. Get out and enjoy the dry weather today. Tonight, mainly clear skies as well. Again, this evening, get out and try to spot the ISS if you're away from city lights out in the country. As we go into tomorrow, just another gorgeous day for St. Patrick's Day. Do think we'll bring in a few more clouds for tomorrow, though, but it's still going to be mostly sunny. By the time we head into Friday, we'll start to see the next storm system arriving. Also this weekend, the Chattacoin turns green downtown Jamestown as well, and starts at 11 o'clock. Now there will be rain showers. Now earlier in the week we had suggested there might have been some wet snowflakes. We do think we'll be at least milder enough where all this will fall as rain, so it'll be a wet one, but at least a mild one. Now the next 7 days of your life, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So St. Patrick's Day, gorgeous. A few afternoon showers on Friday. The rain picks up on Saturday. So again, if you are going downtown for the turning of the river green, just make sure you bring the rain gear. And spring officially arrives on Sunday, 44, and then we're kind of back into the 50s again by the time we go into early next week, Justin.
All right, it's a good taste of the season, Dakota. Thank you. Well, here's something everyone can agree on in the U.S. Senate, an extra hour of sunlight. That chamber passed a measure last night that would make daylight savings time permanent and get rid of setting clocks back in the fall. It passed with bipartisan support unanimously. Republican Senator Marco Rubio from Florida sponsored the bill known as the Sunshine Protection Act. He says he doesn't know if the House will take it up. That would be necessary before President Joe Biden could sign it into law. If it does happen, the change wouldn't go into effect until next November because transportation schedules have already been built out until then. And a fourth dose of the COVID-19 shot for people over 65 could soon be available. Pfizer and BioNTech submitted an application for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration for a second booster shot Tuesday. The firm works together in their coronavirus vaccines. Pfizer says it's continuing to collect data and talk with health officials about their vaccine strategy and whether a fourth dose would be needed. And the Federal Reserve is expected to increase interest rates today when it meets. It's kept them low to support job growth and the economy, but the hope now is to curb inflation. The Fed has kept those rates at zero since the pandemic started, which has helped build things up. That ability to spend has boosted demand for big ticket items, but now that supply is struggling to keep up, inflation is so bad that some experts are worrying about a recession. The hope is that an interest rate increase will lower the cost of living for average Americans. And Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky renewed his call for a no-fly zone over that country today. He spoke during his virtual address to Congress. He pleaded with the U.S. to put its aircrafts in the Ukrainian skies to defend their airspace against Russia's continued invasion. Now, NATO has imposed a no-fly zone in non-member countries before, but it's always a controversial move because it means getting semi-involved in a conflict without fully committing ground forces. Lawmakers of both parties had said that their concern in no-fly zone would pit the U.S. directly against Russia. And next, turning the city green, we speak with local businesses as they get ready ahead of St. Patrick's Day.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind, to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
It ain't easy being green, or at least that's what one downtown Jamestown store owner tells our Bronson Rasmussen as she gets ready to turn everything green in preparation for St. Patrick's Day.
Jamestown is one of a few cities in the United States to turn a body of water green, with owner of Full Moon Rising and sugar artist Andrea Latona Miller turning the desserts green too.
We've been ready basically since Valentine's Day ended. We turned everything green. We've got all kinds of shamrock cookies and rainbows, thin mint cupcakes, all kinds of things. We love a good theme.
With health restrictions relaxed this year, local businesses like Full Moon Rising are expecting an even bigger influx of people.
It seems like pretty much everyone's ready to get out again. It's usually a little bit more busy on St. Patrick's Day when they turn the river green, so I'm hoping it'll bring people out.
This transition and what to make for the holidays is not that difficult to the sugar artist.
We're pretty used to having to change the holidays out here. Once Valentine's Day is over, we're ready to change it up. We get kind of sick of everything pink.
In addition to festive desserts, Latona Miller is offering a special drink too.
Definitely everyone should come in and grab a milkshake on Saturday after they watch the river turn green. We'll have our special chocolate thin mint chip milkshake that day. Help us get rid of all our thin mints.
Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
That sounds delicious, Bronson. Thank you. Now, the city of Jamestown will turn the Chautauqua River green Saturday at 11 a.m. Festivities Dakota will take place along the Jamestown Riverwalk at Main Street. It's near that Blarney stone there. So certainly what a great time. And I know last year a lot of people were that was sort of like the first big event that we had post-COVID. And now this year I'd imagine probably even more. Although I know, as you mentioned during your full weather forecast, it's going to be a little wet for folks. Is it a soaking rain? Is that what we're looking like we could be dealing with?
Well, as of right now, it does look like we're going to be dealing with some scattered to widespread rain showers through the day on Saturday. So let's take another look at that forecast. So again, it starts at 11 o'clock. So we know a lot of people are probably going to start going downtown probably around 9 a.m. to get the best view right there on the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, that'll be the best view right there. And so 50 degrees. So at least it'll be mild. So it won't be cold like it has been in years past, but you will have to bring the rain gear though, because it will be wet.
I gotcha. So the alternative to this, I suppose, is watching it live unfold on your Facebook feed, Channel 716 on Roku, and our YouTube channel. We'll be doing a live stream, rain or shine, and so that'll be fun. I think I looked at the schedule. It looks like it's Bronson and I. So yeah, if you have time, come on down, say hello, bring an umbrella.
Get your 8x10 glossy signed.
Bring your umbrella, because we'll probably need that. I'll be sporting the raincoat. And
just make sure you have your own Sharpie, though.
Yes, yeah. Please bring.
Justin and Bronson are not going to provide their own Sharpies. So you provide the 8x10 glossy, and you provide the Sharpie, and they will be more than happy to sign it.
That seems like a lot of work, doesn't it? Well, hey.
Well, we don't have any 8x10 glossies laying around here,
I should
do we?
bring some of the pens. We could hand those out.
Yeah, we've got really a ton of these things.
Yeah.
We've got pens galore here.
Yeah.
Also a nice little cup from our friends at
Yes,
WNY
and
News Now
Happy as well too. So you have more pens than I do.
Yeah.
Usually they've gone everywhere. They're just popping up.
I know.
Just
I've got
here's a pen. Here's a pen.
Yeah, here's a pen. We're like Oprah. You get a pen. You get a pen. You get a pen. Everybody gets pens. Okay.
Well, now that you've sincerely made a mess, Dakota, thank you.
I probably shouldn't have done that.
Oh well. No harm, no foul. Nobody's eye got poked out, at least yet. Well, that's it for us today. Of course, news 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our free mobile app. And we remind you, too, when you're on the go, it's so easy to stay in the know by downloading that app, iOS, Android, and, of course, anytime on Channel 716 on Roku. So much great programming there as well. We'll leave you with this live look over Lakewood. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.